After a lovely workout, let's reward ourselves with a tasty treat.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
So yes, after a beautiful workout, as I said, let's refuel our bodies with something delicious. And this one really is a wonderful recipe, quite different and quite cheeky, which means only one person can make it. Tando, welcome to the show. Welcome back this morning. So good to have you here, because I'm seeing a lot of my favorite things, but being combined in a way that I've never seen before. This is awesome.
It's just goodness. It's goodness. I love puff pastry. It's a bunch of people's favorites. I feel like it's fresh. It's hearty at the same time. It's got a piece of steak on top.
It's beautiful and it's nutritional. It's got a beautiful nutritional component. And it feels like a treat because there's enough in there to kind of elevate it. And looking at the amount of spices and flavors going in here, I'm guessing it's going to be very flavorful. So what's going on with our beautiful slab of meat there?
So we've got some coriander, some turmeric, cumin,
and on the turmeric or turmeric, however you say it, it's become almost mentioned daily when we talk about anti-inflammatory properties. That seems to be one of the superfoods
I feel like,
that's emerging at the moment.
It's the best. Turmeric on everything, and it's so great because it has multiple functions, not just for food. You can have it as like skin treatment, you can do a nice face mask. Then we're just going to rub this all together. I'm just going to use my hands.
No, get stuck in there, girl. So I could have got you the gloves.
There we go.
Your nails look exquisite this morning, so...
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, if my nails get curry, I actually might just cry.
You know? But it's worth it. For the team, man. You've got to do it for the team. I love that. So with the steak, I'm all about creating that crust. I think that was something that Clem taught me early on about, you know, the resting, obviously letting it get to room temperature. Then salt it. If you're not going to put spices, at least salt that meat and let it stand so it can form that layer. That, for me, is vital. So, yeah, you've got this beautiful crust, and now... you let that form, and that's what caramelizes and crisps. So you've got that beautiful kind of texture on the outside and the softness on the center.
There we go.
I think that really is how you elevate your steak to kind of restaurant quality.
A dry rub for me is always my favorite.
That's where you can have fun with little flavor.
I'm going to give it 2 minutes. It's not there yet.
Yeah, get it there.
Get that heat up.
And is that the watchword with a steak? You really want it hot, eh?
Yes. You don't want it to
We ain't slow cooking that baby.
We're not slow cooking. You want it to go on and...
I love that. Okay, can I help you out here, man?
Yes,
I'm ready for you.
So we're going to cut the puff pastry into 8 pieces.
Okay.
8 squares.
Okay, so I can do 4 and then across.
Yes.
2, 3, 4.
Then we've got a bunch of different toppings here. I've got some cucumber, tomatoes and peppers, pomegranate, caramelized onions, and some steak pieces. So once the steak comes out, simply just slices into beautiful pieces, and that's going to be part of our toppings.
Okay, so I'm starting to work angles here.
You are very meticulous about this.
Hey, man, and this is like the first time in my life, actually. I'm like the least detail-oriented person on the planet, but when it comes to baking, I know you've got to kind of stick to the framework, the plan.
Yes.
Because things can go wrong.
And then we're going to score it.
Okay. So, I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10.
There we go. No, not that score.
Oh, okay.
And then, you're just going to create little squares, like indentations in it, so you don't cut it all the way through.
Okay.
But just to give it like
I thought I had the easy part of the job, but...
No, sir.
Yeah.
You're at work.
Yeah, man, I love this. So this is the thing, people always ask us, like, because I have become a pretty good chef thanks to, I think, osmosis, just being next to you amazing chefs, and it just absorbs, and then, like, 1 out of the 5 gems you give us, I'll actually take on, and I'm sorry, I steal your intellectual property completely.
I love it for you, though, because you have to...
That feels like it's okay, hey?
Yeah, you can, listen, there's room for improvement always, and you've started off amazing, so...
We're just growing.
I love where you're going with it.
It is very exciting, and I think what I love the most and why I love baking with my boy is you get the payoff. So you put in the effort, you concentrate, you do the hard yards, and there we go. That's okay.
There we go. So you're going to paste that on the baking sheet.
Okay.
And then brush it with a bit of egg wash.
Beautiful. I'm just going to get these guys going in the meantime. Beautiful. And then how long and what temperature?
180. For about 10 to 15 minutes. You just want them until they're golden, pretty much puffed up and golden, and then they're good to go. And then once they're done, we'll have this right here.
Because am I right, the puff pastry's got layers within this, and
yes.
that's what allows
and
it
then
to
it's the butter layers of the flour, the lamination that allows it to puff up.
Beautiful. Okay, so that part of the process done. I love that. How do we tie it all together here?
Yes. So we've got our Bliss yogurt.
And I like the fact we're using the double cream. Don't skim it. You deserve it.
There we go. Then we're just going to layer that on.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Thando does that, of course, with the use of Clover Bliss, a double cream plain yogurt in this beautiful recipe. You are guaranteed the delicious flavors, obviously, thanks to the creamy indulgence that carries the flavors of the spices. And this is great because it kind of marries everything together, carry those flavors through. And what I'm really liking about this is it's got a little bit of everything.
Yes.
You've got the flavors that are developed from the cooking of the steak and the caramelized onions. You've got the fresh pop, the texture of, and obviously the nutrients in these beautiful greens, and the peppers and the tomato. And then you've got that cheeky little additive of our pomegranate.
Sweetness as well.
And sweetness does go well with a steak. I mean, there's a reason why like a chocolate... a dark chocolate sauce rocks with a steak. There is that line, that fine line that you can work. And then...
some caramelized onions.
We top it off with our flavor bomb, that is our meat and our caramelized onions. Absolutely beautiful. Not that difficult. Yes, I made the pastry element maybe look a little bit more challenging than it was, but it's actually not that difficult to make if you missed any of the steps. Take a look at this. Wow. That's exciting, eh?
Made with love by Clover.